There is a moment, just before the world awakens, when everything seems suspended. The silence has not yet been broken. The light still grazes the horizon with golden, hesitant fingers, and in that instant, in that space between the night that passes and the day that is born, there is a voice. It is not loud, it is not urgent, but it is constant. It is the voice of a God who did not sleep, who kept his eyes open while you closed yours, who watched over every breath you took while the world turned without you even noticing. He waited, he waits, he always waits. This devotional is not simply a prayer, it is a reunion. It is the moment when you stop, breathe deeply, and remember that you are not alone, that there is a mother who intercedes, a father who listens, and a word that has described, for thousands of years, exactly what your heart feels this morning. Psalm 5:3 says, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly." Simple, profound, real. May these words guide you. May this voice reach you. May this dawn be different, not because the world has changed, but because you chose to meet him before meeting anything else. Before we begin, leave a comment below with one word that describes how you are feeling this morning. Just one word. It can be grateful, tired, anxious, hopeful, or simply here. Let this community know you arrived today, because no one should start their morning alone. Like this video and subscribe, so we can meet you here every morning. Now, let us pray together. Before your eyes open completely, before the first thought of the day takes shape, before you remember the worries you left on the table last night, he is already there. Think about that for a moment. While you slept, God watched over you. While your body rested and your mind finally found silence, there was a presence that did not retreat, that did not get distracted, that did not leave to tend to other things. He stayed, like a father who sits at the edge of a sick child's bed and does not blink, like a mother who listens to every breath in the middle of the night and only rests when she knows everything is all right. That is how God spent the night with you, and now it is morning. There is something sacred about the dawn that we, in our rushing, have learned to ignore. We wake up and immediately reach for our phones. We think about work, about bills, about unfinished conversations, about plans that fell apart, and others we still need to make. Morning has become a waiting room for the rest of the day, a time to be crossed, not a gift to be received. But the creator of this day thought differently. Every dawn was designed as a fresh start, not as a cliche, not as a pretty phrase on a calendar, but as a real divine architecture. The rising sun is the sign that mercy has renewed itself, that what has passed, that what is yet to come can still be different, that you, with everything you carry, with everything you have gotten wrong, with everything that is still unresolved, you receive one more day, one more chance to breathe, to try, to love, to begin again. That is no small thing. So breathe deeply now. Feel the air coming in. Feel your body waking up. Notice that there is a weight you carried yesterday that, in this exact moment, you have not yet had to pick back up. There is a space between waking and beginning, and it is precisely in that space that God is waiting for you. He is not waiting for you to be polished, organized, with the right prayers on the tip of your tongue and a heart clean of everything that falls short. He is waiting for you now, just as you are, with your hair disheveled, your eyes still heavy, your mind still halfway between dream and reality. He's waiting for you like this, imperfect, tired, human, because that is exactly how he loves you. There is a profound difference between a God who demands perfection before receiving you and a God who runs to meet you while you are still on the way. The God of the morning is the second one, the God the psalm describes, the God that Our Lady presented to the world, that God does not charge admission. He simply opens the door and waits, and morning is the moment when that door is wide open. There is a reason why so many saints, so many mystics, so many men and women who found something real in their faith. There is a reason why all of them, without exception, protected the first hours of the day. It was not superstition. It was not empty religiosity. It was the recognition of something the soul instinctively knows. What happens first shapes what happens after. When you offer the first hour to silence, to prayer, to the encounter with the sacred, you do not just begin the day differently. You reorient it entirely. It is like calibrating a compass before entering a forest. Without that calibration, we walk in circles. We respond instead of act. We react instead of choose. We allow the first stimulus of the day, a piece of bad news, a difficult message, an anxious thought, to set the tone for everything that follows. And by the end of the day, we arrive exhausted without knowing exactly where all that weight came from. But when the morning begins with God, something shifts in the very structure of the day. It is not magic. It is not that the problems disappear or that the bills pay themselves. It is that you step into the day with different ground beneath your feet, with the living memory that you are not alone, with the certainty, not the easy certainty, but the certainty shaped through prayer, that there is a greater purpose guiding even the things that seem to make no sense, and that certainty changes everything. So today, this morning, before anything else, you chose this. You chose this pause. You chose this voice. And that is already a form of prayer. Because prayer is not only words lined up in the right sequence. Prayer is readiness. It is the gesture of turning your face toward the sun before you even know what to say. You turned your face, and he is here. Speak to him now, even if it is only through silence, even if the words do not come, even if your heart is too heavy to construct beautiful sentences. Open that inner space, that place deeper than thought can reach, and simply acknowledge, Lord, it is morning. I am here. I stand before you. That is enough to begin. And he, who waited through the entire night for this moment, he answers. There are names we learn before we learn anything else. Before we understand theology, before we can read a single verse of scripture, before we know the difference between a prayer and a wish, there are names that reach us. Names spoken softly in the dark by someone who loved us. Names that carry warmth the way nothing else quite does. And for millions of people across centuries, across continents, across languages and cultures and seasons of life, one of those names is Mary, Our Lady. Say it slowly for a moment. Let it land somewhere deeper than the mind. Our Lady. There is something in those two words that does not behave like information. It behaves like shelter. She is not a distant figure frozen in stained glass. She is not a relic of a simpler time, a symbol for those who need symbols. She is a mother, and if you have ever known what it means to need a mother, truly need one, in the way that only the soul knows how to need, then you already understand something essential about why her presence matters so deeply. Mary knew what it was to carry something too heavy for ordinary arms. She knew what it was to say yes when the weight of what was being asked had no precedent, to carry a mystery inside her body and walk forward anyway, one step at a time, through a world that did not fully understand what was happening and would not, for a long time. She knew what it was to stand at the foot of tremendous suffering and not look away, to stay, to remain present when every human instinct might have said, "This is too much. I cannot bear to watch." She stayed, and that staying, that faithful, quiet, unshakable staying, is exactly what she offers you now. When you say, "Good morning, Our Lady," and perhaps you have said it so many times that the words have become familiar, almost automatic, try to hear what you are actually saying. You are greeting a mother. You are opening the door of your morning to someone who has never once looked at you with anything other than love. Someone who does not keep score of your failures, who does not grow impatient with how long it is taking you to get it right, who does not measure her tenderness based on your performance. She simply loves you, and she brings that love straight to the heart of God. That is what intercession means, not a complicated theological mechanism, but something far more human and far more tender than that. It is a mother going to her son on your behalf. It is Mary, who knows Jesus in a way no one else does, who held him as an infant, who watched him grow, who was present at the first miracle and at the last breath, bringing your name, your need, your mourning, your heartache, your hope to him. Think about what that means for a moment. You are not alone in your prayer. You never were. Before the words leave your lips, before the thought fully forms in your mind, there is already someone standing beside you, already interceding, already whispering your name in the courts of heaven. That is not poetry. That is the lived experience of countless souls across history who reached for Mary in their darkest moments and found, not silence, not distance, but the warm and immediate sense of being accompanied, of not being alone. And on a morning like this one, that matters more than almost anything else. Because mornings are not always gentle. Sometimes you wake up, and the first thing that arrives is not peace. It is the familiar weight of something unresolved, a relationship that is strained, a health concern that has been sitting in the back of your mind for weeks, a financial pressure that does not seem to ease no matter how hard you work, a grief that you thought you had dealt with but that returns, unbidden in the quiet hours, a loneliness that surprises you, even when you are surrounded by people. These are the mornings when "Good morning, Our Lady" is not a pleasantry. It is a lifeline. It is the acknowledgement that you cannot carry this alone, and that you do not have to, that there is a mother in the spiritual order of things who was placed precisely here, precisely for this, precisely for you, not in a generic, impersonal way, in the specific, particular, irreplaceable way that only a mother can love, seeing the individual child, not the category, seeing you. Mary sees you. She saw the wedding couple at Cana running out of wine, what seemed like a small, almost trivial embarrassment, and she brought it to Jesus without being asked. She noticed, she cared, she acted, and when he said that his hour had not yet come, she turned to the servants and said simply, Do whatever he tells you. She trusted. She pointed toward him. She always points toward him. That is her gift. That is her intercession. She does not draw attention to herself. She draws you toward her Son. She does not ask to be the destination. She is the companion on the way, the hand that steadies you when the path is uneven, the voice that whispers even when you cannot hear it clearly. Keep going. He is listening. He has not forgotten you. So this morning, let her walk beside you. When the anxiety tries to speak first, let her presence speak louder. When the weight of the day ahead feels like something you have to carry entirely on your own, remember, you do not. When the prayer feels clumsy and the words feel thin and you are not sure if any of it is reaching anywhere at all, remember that she is already there, already before the throne, already saying your name with a love that has no bottom to it. You said good morning to her today. She has been waiting to hear it. And now together, you and this mother who has never once abandoned a child who called for her, you turn toward the morning, you turn toward the prayer, you turn toward the God who is already looking back at you with eyes full of everything you have ever needed and were afraid to ask for. The door is open. Walk through it with her. There is a book in the Bible that does not pretend. Most of what we read in sacred literature carries a certain weight of instruction, of doctrine, of narrative that moves toward a point. And all of that is good. All of it is necessary. But the Psalms are different. The Psalms are raw in a way that can catch you off guard if you are not expecting it. They argue with God. They weep without apology. They swing between despair and ecstasy, sometimes within the same breath, sometimes within the same verse, as if the writer could not quite decide whether to collapse or to praise. And so did both, simultaneously, because that is what it actually feels like to be a human being standing before the infinite. The Psalms are honest, and honesty, in prayer, is not a small thing. We have been taught, many of us, to approach God with a certain decorum, to bring our best words, to organize our petitions, to begin with praise, move through confession, arrive at supplication, all in the right order, all in the right tone. And there is wisdom in structure, there is beauty in liturgy. But somewhere along the way, for many people, the structure became a wall instead of a door. The right words became a barrier between the real heart and the God who made it. And then they found the Psalms. Psalm 5 begins not with triumph but with urgency. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my sighing. The very first movement is a sigh, not a hymn, not a declaration. A sigh, that wordless, involuntary release of something too heavy to hold, too shapeless to name. The psalmist does not dress it up. He brings it exactly as it is, this sighing, this weight that cannot quite find language, and he places it before God as if to say, I do not have the words today, but I have this. Take this. And God takes it. By the third verse, something shifts. The tone changes, not because the circumstances have changed, but because the act of turning toward God has already begun its quiet work. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. 3 things happen in that single verse that are worth sitting with slowly, one at a time, because each one carries more weight than it might first appear to hold. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. Not in the morning, I hope you might be listening. Not in the morning, if I pray correctly and use the right formula, perhaps my words will reach you. But you hear, present tense, certainty. The psalmist has lived enough, has prayed enough, has been through enough darkness and enough unexpected dawn to know, when I speak in the morning, I am heard. Not because I am worthy of being heard, not because my prayer is eloquent or my faith is perfect, but because that is who you are. You are a God who hears. Let that settle into you for a moment. You are heard, right now in this morning, with this prayer, with this heart that may be carrying more than it knows how to express. You are heard. The voice that spoke the universe into existence, the same voice that said, let there be light, and light obeyed, the same voice that called Lazarus by name out of the tomb. That voice is leaning toward you, listening, not distracted, not delayed, not waiting for you to become someone more worthy of the attention. Listening now. In the morning, I lay my requests before you. The word the original text uses carries the image of arranging something carefully, of laying things out in order, the way a priest arranges an offering on an altar, the way a child lines up their most precious things to show someone they love. It is not a careless tossing of needs in God's direction. It is a deliberate, intentional act of placement. I take what I am carrying, this worry, this hope, this confusion, this grief, this dream, this fear, and I lay it before you. I set it down. I stop holding it alone. There is something physically relieving about that image. Think of what you are carrying this morning, not in the abstract, only specifically. The thing that woke you up at 3 a.m. last week, the conversation you keep rehearsing in your head, the decision you cannot seem to make, the person you love who is struggling and you do not know how to help, the version of yourself you hoped you would be by now and somehow are not yet. The prayer you have been praying for so long that you have started to wonder if anyone is listening. Take all of that. Hold it in your mind for just a moment. Feel the weight of it, the realness of it, and then do what the psalmist did. Lay it down. Not because it does not matter, not because you are pretending it is not there, but because the altar is the right place for it, because your hands were never meant to hold it indefinitely, because there is a God who does not grow tired of your requests, who does not roll his eyes at the repetition, who receives each offering, no matter how many times you have brought the same one, with the same steady, undiminished attention. Lay it down, and wait expectantly. This is perhaps the most quietly radical part of the verse. Not wait anxiously, not wait doubtfully, not wait while secretly believing nothing will happen. Wait expectantly, with the particular quality of attention that belongs to someone who knows something is coming. The way you wait for a sunrise when you have already seen 1,000 of them, and you know without question that this darkness is not permanent. The way you wait for a person you love who has promised they are on their way. Expectant waiting is an act of faith that does not require certainty about the details. You do not need to know how God will answer. You do not need to understand the timing. You do not need to see the path from where you are standing to where the answer lives. You only need to know, and the Psalms have been training hearts to know this for 3,000 years, that the God who heard you this morning is already at work, that the prayer you just laid down has not landed in empty air, that something has been set in motion that your eyes cannot yet see, but that is as real as the light now filling the sky outside your window. The Psalms teach us to pray with our whole selves, not just the polished parts, not just the grateful parts, not just the parts that have it together and know the right words and feel sufficiently spiritual to approach the divine. All of it, the doubt and the faith, the fear and the hope, the sighing and the singing, the broken and the beautiful. All of it belongs in prayer. All of it is welcome at the altar, because God did not make only your Sunday morning self. He made the version of you that lies awake at 3 in the morning, the version that snaps at the people it loves when it is overwhelmed, the version that has prayed the same prayer so many times the words have worn thin, the version that sometimes wonders if any of this is real. He made all of you, and he invites all of you into the morning conversation. The psalmist knew this. That is why the Psalms have survived millennia. That is why they have been prayed in dungeons and cathedrals, in dying whispers and in full-throated congregational voice, in languages the original writer never heard, and in circumstances he could never have imagined. Because the Psalms speak the language of the human heart, and the human heart, in every century and every culture, needs the same things: to be heard, to lay its burdens down, to wait with hope. This morning you are part of that ancient conversation. Your voice joins a chorus that has been rising toward heaven every morning for thousands of years. The voices of shepherds and kings, of mothers and warriors, of the broken and the healing, of everyone who ever woke before dawn and turned their face toward something greater than themselves and said simply, "Lord, it is morning. Hear me." He heard them. He hears you. You made it to this moment, not by accident, not by coincidence, not simply because you pressed play or opened a page or stumbled upon these words in the middle of an ordinary morning. You made it to this moment because something in you, something deeper than habit, something more persistent than routine, knew that you needed it, that today, before the noise begins, before the demands arrive, before the world starts pulling you in every direction at once, you needed to stop, and you stopped. That is not nothing. In a world that rewards constant motion, that measures worth by productivity and presence by performance, the act of stopping, of being still, of choosing silence over stimulation, is quietly revolutionary. It is an act of trust. It says, I believe there is something here worth pausing for. I believe that the invisible is as real as the visible. I believe that 5 minutes on my knees, or 5 minutes in stillness, or 5 minutes simply breathing and remembering who I belong to, I believe that changes something. It does. And now here, at the end of this morning's journey through silence and scripture and the gentle company of a mother who never leaves, here is where everything converges. Here is where the reflection becomes prayer. Here is where the words about God give way to words spoken directly to him. Because that was always the destination. Not information about God, not beautiful language arranged around the idea of God, but God himself, present, close, already here, already listening, already looking at you with an expression that has no adequate name in any human language except perhaps this one: love. So let this be your prayer now. Lord, just that word first, just his name, or rather the name we use to reach toward the name that contains all names. Let it leave your lips or your heart or whatever part of you prays when words fail. Let it be the first sound of this new day, the first real sound, the one that matters more than anything your voice will say between now and when this day ends. Lord, you have been waiting for me. I know that now, not as a theological fact stored somewhere in my memory, but as something I feel this morning with a clarity that surprises me. You were here before I woke. You were here in the night, watching over a sleep I did not earn and could not have protected on my own. You were here in the silence, in the darkness, in the turning of the earth that brought this light to my window. You were here, and I almost missed you. I almost let this morning be like every other morning, rushed and reactive, beginning with everything except you. I almost picked up the weight of the day before I had a chance to set down the weight of yesterday. I almost walked past the open door without noticing it was open, but something stopped me. Maybe it was your voice. Maybe it was the quiet persistence of a grace I did not ask for, but that found me anyway, the way grace always does, uninvited, unearned, and more than anything I would have thought to request. Maybe it was Our Lady, gently steering me back toward you the way she always does, the way she has always done for every child who wandered and every heart that forgot which direction home was. Whatever it was, I am here now, and I want you to know that I do not take that lightly, that this moment, this ordinary and extraordinary moment of a human soul turning toward its creator in the middle of a regular morning, I understand, more than I used to, that this is the most important thing I will do today. More important than the meeting I have scheduled. More important than the problem I need to solve. More important than the message I need to send, or the task I need to complete, or the impression I need to make. This is the most important thing, being here, with you, in the morning before everything else, laying it all before you and waiting, expectantly, as the psalmist said, waiting not with the tight, anxious waiting of someone who is not sure the answer will come, but with the open, settled waiting of someone who has been surprised by you enough times to know that you are not finished yet. You are never finished. So here is what I bring you this morning, Lord. I bring you the things I understand and the things I do not, the prayers I know how to pray and the ones that live somewhere below language, that I can only gesture toward without quite being able to name. I bring you the gratitude, real and specific gratitude, for breath, for light, for another day that I did not manufacture and cannot take credit for. I bring you the worry that woke me in the night and that is still sitting at the edge of my morning, waiting to see if I will pick it up again. I am laying it down instead. I bring you the people I love whose names I carry in my chest like something breakable, the ones who are struggling in ways I cannot fix, the ones who are far away and the ones who are close but somehow still unreachable, the ones who are sick, the ones who are lost, the ones who have forgotten or perhaps never knew that they are loved by you. I bring them to you the way Mary brought the wedding couple's need to you at Cana, without demanding a specific solution, without dictating the timeline, but with the simple trust that you see them, that you love them more than I do, and that your hand is already moving in their lives in ways that neither they nor I can yet see. I bring you myself, all of it, not the curated version, not the version I show the world, not the version that has it together and knows the right answers and never doubts, the real version, the one that is sometimes afraid, the one that has made mistakes it still carries, the one that has said things it wishes it could unsay and left things unsaid that deserve to be spoken, the one that wants to be better, to love better, to live with more intention and less fear. But that does not always know how to get from here to there. That version of me is standing before you now, and I am not ashamed, because you already knew. You have always known, and you called me here anyway, not to condemn what you found, but to heal it, not to catalog my failures, but to remind me, one more time, with patience that has no end, that I am not defined by what I have done or left undone. I am defined by what you have done, and what you have done is love me into existence and sustain me through every morning I have ever seen. That is who I am. Yours, Our Lady. Good morning. I say it again now, not as a greeting that begins and ends in sentiment, but as a declaration, as a choosing, as the acknowledgement that I want to walk through this day accompanied by a mother's prayer, guided by a mother's love, pointed always in the direction she points, toward her son, toward the light, toward the truth that holds even when everything else shifts. Walk with me today. When I forget, remind me. When I rush, slow me down. When I am unkind, soften me. When I am afraid, show me again the face of the one who casts out fear not with force, but with love so steady and so certain that fear simply has no room left to stand. Be with me in the middle of the day when the morning's peace has faded and the noise is loud and the distance from this quiet moment feels like miles. Bring me back. You always know how to bring us back. And Lord, one last thing. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for being the kind of God who does not give up on a soul that is slow to arrive. Thank you for the morning itself, this unrepeatable, irreplaceable morning that will never come again, that is already becoming the past even as I stand inside it. Thank you for making it beautiful even when I could not see the beauty. Thank you for the psalm that has been praying itself through human hearts for 3,000 years, that knew what to say when I did not. Thank you for the voice that called me here. I heard it. I am here, and whatever this day holds, whatever it asks of me, whatever it takes from me, whatever it gives me that I was not expecting, I will carry it differently, because I began it with you. I will see it differently. I will move through it knowing that I am not moving alone, that there is a presence accompanying every step, that the God who watched over my sleeping is the same God who will walk beside my waking, all day, every hour, until the light fades again and the night returns and I close my eyes and trust you one more time with the hours I cannot see. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my requests before you, and I wait, expectantly. Amen. If this prayer touched your heart, leave a comment below. Write a word, a prayer, or the name of someone you want others to lift up with you. Share this video with someone who needs a gentle morning. Like it so more souls can find it. And subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new devotional, because every morning is a new invitation, and we want to meet you there. God bless you, today and every day.